too early to say one is safer than the other. The concerns on germline are right now all tangled with safety. As soon as safety is addressed, I think we'll have a different discussion. I don't know what that discussion will be, but it'll be different. Thanks.
Hi, also a follow-up to the question, previous question. How far are we technologically, in your view, from applying germline editing in the clinic?
Right. Well, some people would argue that mitochondrial gene therapy is a form, it's not editing. I think the prerequisites probably should be, maybe will be, getting it to work very well somatically. So right now there's a very small number of clinical trials on editing somatically, like the Sangamo CCR5 gene editing. There's some phase 2 clinical trials. So that will have to expand, and we get a great deal of confidence. We figure out whether there's any cancer caused by off target. And doing it, the closer we get the full systemic delivery to all the adult cells, the higher our confidence is that it won't be affecting the large set of cells in the embryo. And then there'll be germline editing of animals, not just for science, but for agricultural applications. And all that comes together. Your question is when will that work together? I think we'll be doing clinical trials doing somatic in probably in a year and a half. We're already doing some gene editing with synthetic basis with CRISPR in a year and a half. And then I'd say probably another 5 years or so before we're ready to tackle it in a well-chosen case where it's very risky to do it any other way.
So for everybody, it's going to be a lot. Like the general applicability.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at getting us from here to phase 1 is at least 5 years. It'll be a very deleterious case.
So the fluorescence ECG sequencing is very impressive. And I know it builds on a lot of previous work from your lab, but I was wondering, how long does it take to actually get that working? And have other labs brought up a system like that, as you said?
Right, so, yeah, good question. Less time than more sequencing, because it's saying that it's second worst performance timing. So our first paper that mentioned the word fluorescence sequencing was 1999, so it predated what we'll call next-gen sequencing. But it clearly is part of next-gen sequencing, one of the motivations that we had for developing next-gen sequencing. Well, put it on board back in 89, so it's 10 more years of failure and success. Most of it happened in the last 2 years, really. Most of the progress in the last 2 years.
And have any other labs?
Any other labs, yeah. So we provide the instrument as a service, and so the labs have done it in that mode. No one has yet purchased the instrument and run it in their own lab, but there's a handful of labs that have done their biology with it, mostly to get preliminary results for programs. So it's very early stage. And I think, quite frankly, I don't think it's that attractive until we get it fully integrated with the expansion microscopy.
So the follow-up question about the technical nature, because I have found it extremely fascinating. So the read lengths and handling of isoforms and things that are really hard, not well worked out, I think, when you're doing RNA sequencing, right. You didn't mention anything about short read, long read, all of that sort of thing. I see this genome-wide, or do you have to take a set of transcripts?
Yeah, so the way we did it, we used random priming, so we could get some derivative discoveries. We used both Illumina-style sequencing and solid ligation chemistry. They both work. The longest read I think we've done is around a little over 30 nucleotides, but that's enough to identify an exon or cluster of exons. And so we're not highly motivated to go much longer than that yet anyway. It's kind of a trade-off between how many sections you can do and how many cycles you can do. I guess we're...
And so I assume you need living cells?
These are fixed, first they're formalin fixed initially, and then we go through additional steps of building cDNA and turn it into a hydrogel. Same thing goes for advanced microscopy. In that case, it always groups the antibodies that are labeled with nucleotides, nucleotides, which are then coupled to the hydrogel. And then when it expands, and then it deprotons when it expands, the nucleic acid tag for the antibody is always left. You essentially got this beautiful, pristine hydrogel with nothing on it other than the tags. So that's how you detect proteins for this method, for this cluster of methods.
Hi, George. Yeah. So I have two questions. So first question is that how long do you think it would take for the nanomolar sequencing to phase out current sequencing technology like Illumina and PacBio? And second question is that possible for single molecule sequencing to be as accurate as Illumina sequencing? I mean, less than 1% accurate, less than 1% error rate, as well as has long read length.
Let me answer the first one, the second half first, because I think it helps you understand the point we'll displace it. You framed it as a 1% error rate, which is the raw error rate. But most people care about the consensus error rate. The consensus error rate gets improved exponentially with a small number of reads resulting in a huge improvement in the consensus error rate. If you talk about random errors, if you have systematic errors, then typically you change the algorithm so that it accommodates the systematic errors and you're left with random again. But PacBio is a beautiful example of how you can have very high raw error rates and end up with a beautiful consensus, which in many ways is better than Illumina. So, for example, we've been sequencing a bacterial genome for many months at 1,000-fold coverage, and Illumina could never get fewer than 300 contigs. We did one PacBio run, one contig, and it's really high quality. And so what happens is, ironically, even though PacBio has up to 15% raw error rate, just a kind of standard coverage, 30x coverage, and you're now at 99.99% accurate. And of course, we'll be somewhere at probably per mile. Although the one nanopoint that I showed you were from baseline is clean. There's no reason why you couldn't get a raw error rate that's quite good as well. And then one final comment about the PacBio is you can get incredible raw error rates on PacBio. So there's some experiments where you really want to know a particular molecule sequence. You don't want to have a consensus like consensus for that one. So the circular is able to go around and around on the same molecule. And so you can get really great raw error rates, which are better than any other clonal amplification or non-amplified method. So I think it's really hard to just, many of these were dismissed by some of my colleagues as PacBio, glucose, and before they were all ridiculous because they were going to have high error rates. And I say, keep an open mind because, so how quickly will displace it? A lot of the costs right now for sequencing are equipment amortization. You've got $1 million piece of equipment, or maybe $10 million in some cases. That has to go really, really fast in order to justify the capital investment because it's highly automated and the read and cost drop. And so I think that's one of the advantages of Nanopore is you can get something that has the same number of reading heads per chip, but there's nothing really that much more than a chip. And so you can have an instrument cost in the hundreds of dollars rather than $10 million. And I think that, again, I'm not making hyper-promise. I'm just saying keep an open mind. It could be a couple of years. We saw a little bit of this place solid and moving forward in basically 1 or 2 years.
Yeah. And so I think it's the last question.
Hi, Jeff. When you talked about the CRISPR system, you said how important it is to start with a good reference genome.
Yes.
So ideally,
not good, but the right one. Yeah.
So ideally, would you say you need to whole genome every subject before you design a system for them?
That would be nice. Yeah. Well, I think everybody can sequence anyway, so I'm throwing my bias. But assuming everybody sequences not an extrovert.
So now you expect to standardize the whole process now.
Standardize?
Or is it a custom?
I mean, yes. We're entering the era of personalized precision medicine, and so we need to. This is just one of many things we need to learn how to standardize and customize at the same time. Cars are pretty safe, even though those are cars are alike. Right?
All right. Well, thank you, George. It's doing fantastic.
Thank you. We were comparing notes at breakfast in the companies often had where George grew up in a very non-academic setting and managed to sneak his way into it, do incredibly well. And I was the opposite. I grew up in a very academic setting and did everything to run away from it. So here we are. Yeah. And Dr. Goldberger rescued my childhood. I lived in New Jersey. It was the most boring place in the world. And then one day, Dr. wrote their first check. Herb York was the scientific director. He was Eisenhower's science advisor. And he could write up to $1 million. He didn't need any approval. So he wrote these guys a check for $999,750 to start this thing. It became Project Orion, a space project. And then they hired my dad. So we got to leave it to come to California. So it's huge. Thanks. And I first met you through my sister, Esther, who one day, Science Magazine called me and said, you realize this guy's publishing half your genome in public. Did anybody ask you? We got all these ethical questions about once we could do sequencing, what happens to this information? Is it available to insurance companies to say that they won't insure me because I'm a risk? My sister was one of your test subjects of the personal genome project. We sequenced 10 entire people and freely published it, but indeed nobody asked me. And I think they should have. So, Esther was so fast, yeah. If she had asked, I would have said yes. Good. Okay. So tell me, there was so much rich material this morning. So I think you're thinking bigger yet. So the first question is why you want to engineer entire genomes, not just doing this sort of editing. And why do you think that's the path forward?
Well, I think we very much are in the groove of the DARPA, but maybe a little more so. And things like the versatility and safety and frugality, something like a tap to a lot of nature science papers, but that is one of the things that motivates us. And the reason, you need to have a reason for some things. Pure science, pure engineering can be one of them, or two of them. But for whole genomes, we felt that we didn't want to make copies, we wanted to make something new. The sort of new things that we could make would be something that was resistant to all viruses, not just the one-by-one cases that Dan was talking about. But and how would we do that? And then if we did that, we'd have to have the safety mechanism. So we need those anyway because we don't want drug resistance, pesticide resistance, so forth to get out of the world. So we need genetic and metabolic isolation. And that leads us to new amino acids, and they all get solved by essentially the same problem, so the same solution, which is recoding the genome, changing genetic code going from DNA to RNA to protein, so that you use the synonyms, and now incoming viruses or exchanging genetic material becomes impossible. So I think those are some of the reasons that I came up with for doing things on a genomic scale. But there are other reasons that we could go into or how to do things on it.
Yeah, so that leads to the next question. Is that wasn't enough? You just want to do entire genomes. As I understand it, plus your papers on the trip here, you're not stopping at the organism. You want to engineer, why not engineer the entire ecosystem to actually, these gene drives actually go in and not stop. I mean, the way evolution works, I mean, simplistic sense, it's driven by the organism. If the organism survives, then the gene survives, and why not go beyond that and introduce genes into the environment, do something that maybe is not in
favor of the individual organism, but is favorable to us. That's what it changes the entire ballgame. How do you explain that? And to some extent, the same, if you're going to deal with ecosystems at all, you're going to change them. Even if your goal is to manufacture something, you're going to change the ecosystem. We know that. And just like the previous topic about why whole genome, the answer is safety, and it has to be at the forefront. And I agree with what Dan said. We need to have it as low impact and as versatile as possible. If you make it too pull back, then you end up with a very expensive product that doesn't succeed. Dan mentioned that a very small delivery inadvertently to mosquitoes and or malaria with enough to contaminate Hawaiian Islands. So likewise, a huge reduction is the same as leaving behind a small delivery. So how do you deliver something that will make the population resistant, cost-effective, reversible, and will essentially spread itself? And that's the Jane Grimes. That was suggested for mosquitoes in 2003 by Austin Bird. I was introduced to it in my thesis in the 80s by Bernard Dujon in the East. Basic idea. But the idea is if you have a package that is not in the best interest of the mosquito, makes like malaria resistant, maybe in the best interest of the bird, the humans, not the mosquito, then you need to give it some Darwinian push. And that's this kind of this selfish DNA component, but with a package that's very far from selfish. Yeah. So and how does that work out? So from Austin Bird suggested in 2003 until last year, there was progress, but slow. And then we had a revolution I'm sure many people know about that we participated in called CRISPR, which is a way of engineering a whole variety of organisms, basically works in every organism that is tried in, where you can get delivery. And it initially seems like a good way of doing research or gene therapy, but it can now be applied to gene drives. And so we realized that we used for gene drives how easy it was and how, in principle, anybody with very elementary skills can make a gene drive. In fact, we even came up with a way that they can make it accidentally, just in the process. And then if they make it in a mobile organism, mobile in any sense, once you get down the drain or whatever, it can spread exponentially through the population. So our first papers on it were sort of detailed ways that it could go wrong, or you can reverse it, or and ways of maintaining safety. No experiments. So unlike some of the flu virus experiments, the first public heard of it was fait accompli. And then now we published a paper we did in yeast in a very special way that made it so it couldn't escape even if it pushed the physical barriers. And the yeast experiment was extremely rewarding in the sense that it spread nearly 100% almost undetectable non-spread and in a variety of yeasts throughout the phylogenetic tree. Yeah. So in all the senses I read, one of the fascinating was just trying to analyze the longevity of the bowhead whale. If you're an animal, but the mammal, similar to us, that appears to live upwards of 200 years. And you're looking at that, and you think, well, how do you do that? So you can't wait 200 years to see if you're right. So how would you work on that problem when we're not going to be around 200 years to congratulate you on being right or wrong? As part of the Terra wasn't too happy about having a bowhead whale facility either. But I think that longevity is a kind of a crazy goal scientifically, in that because even a short-lived organisms like worms and mice, you're talking about a payoff or an assay where just one turn of the design build test learn cycle is longer than a graduate PhD. So what you want instead is not longevity, but aging reversal, where you're looking for signs of change that are merely instantaneous in weeks rather than years and decades. And this is perfectly reasonable. You can do it in model organisms. My close colleague collaborator, Amy Wagers, did what's called heterochronic paramiosis, where you suture together a young and old mouse with a whole cytoplasm, and you can find factors that contribute to the rejuvenation of multiple organ systems in the older mouse. And some of these have been followed up on in great detail, like GDF11, as an example, protein that can circulate and has profound multiple consequences. So I think that's the way to approach it. Now, we've not only worked on the bowhead whale, which was one of your, but the naked morab, which is dramatically different from other rodents. And I think, as much as I champion personalized medicine, I will be the heretic, contrarian to myself in saying that the thing that's wrong with humans, for the most part, is that we're human. Not just there's anything wrong with us. That is to say, the reason that we can't plow through a meter of ice the way the bowhead whale does from under or go so long, and the reason we're not normally adults the size of a mouse is because it's not interpersonal variation in our genome. It is fundamental, and there are ways we can change that. Right, and then what really makes us human, about what we like to think makes us human, is our intelligence, and I understand you also want to mess with that. And now that must be reasonable. Artificial intelligence is getting a lot of attention lately, but as I understand your view is what is it more immediate and more realistic is just slightly shifting our own intelligence. Something was a little bit against it, that this could be possible. Yeah, let's lower expectations a little bit, broaden the scope. I mean, we heard earlier about machine-human interfaces and how great it is that we can now get a microscope inside the into our pinky